Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, Congo. This is Tata Lewis, and welcome to Lesson Plan 5, utilizing the graveyard for cleansings, defense, as well as making makutos. If you have trusted me with guiding and orientating you since Lesson Plan 1 and have stuck with me all through to this lesson plan, then by now you are packed filled with knowledge about cleansings, herbs, amulets, and baths, and much more things of that nature. So now, by obtaining the knowledge and gems I am about to withdraw here on this lesson plan, you will be able to defend and do even more now with the graveyard. Out of all the locations, from the crossroads to the four corners to the forest to the ocean, the graveyard, in my humble opinion, is the most sensitive and intense, spiritually intense location and element to use and incorporate into your spiritual practice. And this lesson plan is definitely not recommended for unexperienced practitioners. This lesson plan is also recommended in a mix with lesson plan 1, due to the fact that when you are doing dark surrounding energetic work, you will need to intermingle it and balance it out by doing strong cleansings after. Because regardless whether you are doing an offering, a cleansing, or anything that involves a cemetery, you will pick up certain spirits or energies at one point, and these can lead to horrible things, even things such as car crashes. So you must make sure you're doing everything as correct as you can, because from first-hand experience and trial and error, I'm telling you, it could end up very ugly for you if you do not cleanse yourself after doing any spiritual work with the cemetery. First, let me explain and give some awareness as regarding what you are actually doing when you work with the cemetery. When you are leaving offerings for the cemetery or do anything to incorporate it into your spiritual practice and works, first off, when you work with the graveyard, you are invoking not only the spirits you can be trying to invoke and connect with in a way, shape, or form, such as your personal egungun or relative difunto, or an orisha such as Oya. But no matter what, believe me, you are going to invoke and connect with various spirits, not only of the light, but mainly of the dark. Now, just because there are spirits of the dark does not mean you cannot work with them or that they will harm you. In fact, I believe, like, believe it or not, dark spirits are one of the main powerful sources when it comes to certain graveyard work regarding egungun, orung, various other orishas and ifa entities, but most of all, the main principally would be Palo Mayombe. If it wasn't for the dark spirits, there wouldn't be any Palo Mayombe. The factual science, in my humble opinion as a priest, is that dark spirits are not particularly negative towards us if we are working with them, and they are working with us con licencia, and you are sure to complete with what deal you made with them or what you owe them or what you are doing for them. Because unfortunately, like I said, no matter what, when you do an offering to the cemetery, you are going to mandatory invoke and work with various forces. So now that you know this, before I start stating each powerful cleansings, offerings, and amulets that you could do and create with the graveyard, you must understand that you need to cleanse yourself from the variety of energies, light and dark, in which we just finished discussing. One thing to always bring to the cemetery when you are going to leave an offering for a cleansing is an Salam Aleikum Moana Monkara Congo. Hakumambula que sambia da kutara a todos. If you are interested in obtaining more knowledge and continuing to hear the rest of this lesson plan 5, please visit my website for more details under the section Learn Voodoo. Thank you, and God bless. Another great one is herb. Another great essential crucial element or item that you need to have when you go to do something that incorporates you going to the cemetery is herbs. Any herb that I have mentioned in lesson plan 2 and lesson plan 4 is definitely an amazing herb you can use to despojar and cleanse yourself right as you leave the last corner of a cemetery and hop out of your car and just drop it. And it's even better if it ends up being a corner. That is why you need to understand that all of my lesson plans work as a network because you are supposed to use them all together. Now, the first cleansing we will talk about will be not only an offering for either your Palo Mayombe fundamentals or your Esquina de Egungun or your Egungun fundamentals in general, but it will also be a cleansing that incorporates at the end the cemetery. Now, you are going to go to your nearest deli and look for those big frozen fresh caught fishes that still have eyes and everything on them. Fresh caught. You will need is one of these fishes: red palm oil, pimienta de Guinea, and pescado ahumado with frutilla ahumada, a 7-day white candle. So what you will do is, with this fish, you will stand in front of your fundamentals and start your moyuba, light the candle. Start your routine to attend your fundamentals, whether it be, like I mentioned, the palo fundamentals or the esquina de gunguns, etc. Now, what you will do is blow tobacco smoke and aguardiente, oti or malafu, whatever your terminology is, onto the fish. Next, you will cleanse yourself with the fish from head to toe. After that, you will place a white plate in front of your fundamentals and drench the fish with red palm oil. After this, you will place 7 grains or beads, whatever you want to call it, of pimienta de Guinea on top of the fish. Then you will dump some powderized pescado ahumado and frutilla onto this fish. This is optional. If you can't get these two things, that's fine. After this, you will leave this fish here in front of your fundamentals for 7 days. Then you will place the fish with trying not to make powder and these pimientas fall into the ground. Pay close attention to this detail, as it is very bad luck if you happen to drop these pimientas de Guineas onto the ground, including if you don't even notice and then eventually one day you step on it. It's very bad luck and known as osobo and just badome quindiambo. ¿Tú me entiendes? So you need to pay close attention to that. You're going to slide the fish and all of that stuff there from the white plate onto a brown paper lunch type of bag, which you have previously, with a pencil, wrote in your name, your wishes, and your desires, and what you are trying to accomplish from all of this spiritual work. Afterwards, you will take this to the cemetery and leave the offering either at the gates of the graveyard or the corner. But the best way to leave it is at the actual cemetery, where the ground is connected to the tombstones and graves. So if it's possible to throw it over the fence, or obviously much better, just go inside, take your time and drop it off. Whatever you must do to get this done, you must remember, you must always bring an offering of respect when you are entering or doing something with the cemetery. And this rule applies mandatory for everything you do with it, just like it does for the ocean, the forest, etc. Out of respect, humbleness, and tradition, you must bring an offering, a gesture of goodwill, you could say. This includes 7. Salam aleikum, aleikum salam, Congo, hakumambula, moana monkara. As I mentioned earlier, if you would like and are interested in hearing the full lesson plan 5 and obtaining the knowledge of utilizing the graveyard, then please head over to my website, tatalewis.com. Bendiciones. Hagumambula. Just taught you a very powerful cemetery offering / cleansing you can do yourself. I hope this has helped a lot of you, and I hope this will help a lot of you. And now there is something you could do. As I said in the beginning and mentioned, this is for experienced practitioners and people that have been doing things of this nature for quite a while now and know more or less where they are standing and what they are doing. Now, moving on towards the next cleansing, which includes creating your own amulet incorporated with the cemetery. What you are going to need to have is all the free knowledge I am willing to give to the public as far as lesson plan 5 goes. As I said, if you are even the slight of experience in working with the spirits and these ensarayes and saraos, these obras, ebos, things of that nature, and just cleansings in general, then all this information that I just exerted out is going to help you tenfold. If you are completely new to the religion and don't know anything at all, this might not be enough information, and you do have to study more and invest into a lesson plan. Regardless, I hope this has helped. Salam aleikum, aleikum salam Congo. Malemen yaliku sambulero, que sambia da cutare, moane y moncare, que todo sea bacheche con cuerda, bacheche, riban, ganga, riban, todo y ahí en tu munanzo. Akumambula, mi lucero. Akumambula.